to. He was absolutely impressive on that set to be able to dominate in those mid-game fights, but we jump into champions like between these two, sticking on to the exact same size, and so far, you know, getting that Lucian ban, getting that Akali ban. I wonder if Rogue Warriors is going to go back to the Volibear ban as well, keep everything the exact same.
I'm going to get rid of the Viego. I was surprised that the Volibear was the higher priority ban coming into game number 1, but getting pretty much the same bans coming through from Invictus Gaming, so maybe now Rogue Warriors look to steal away that Volibear if they'd like to, although with Gwen being up and available and being such high priority, looks like they might go back towards that.
Yeah, both teams kind of ignored it last time around, but instead of actually even grabbing Gwen, the set taken away, Nenny did have an amazing performance on that. Like I said, the team fights were exactly what he needed to do. That flank as well, the TP flank where he's just like, all right, bye Betty, you're not a part of this fight, you're a non-factor, and I can just kill you outright.
Yeah, and now we get the Volibear coming through from Nani. Still things like the Diana up and available for Shun, Thresh a big one. You can still see like the Nocturne as well, if that's what IG would like to go for. Although with Nani having taken up his Volibear, feels like we're not going to be looking towards that Nocturne, at least on IG's side.
I would be a bit surprised if maybe, you know, they want to put it on the rookie, that maybe that's what they could do, but I feel like you're right. I don't think that that's going to be a high priority for them, especially not when you have to contend against something like the set that can be flexed into the mid lane and you have to deal with that since this Gwen takeaway. Making sure that it's probably going to be, I mean, even though the thing is, whenever I see Gwen, it's like one of those champions like, yeah, technically can be flexed into the jungle, but her top lane is just such a commanding thing that I always get a little bit annoyed when I see it flexed there.
Yeah, and honestly, I think when you've got the set that can work so well in the mid lane as well, just Gwen top, set mid makes a hell of a lot of sense here. Right. You've got that poke damage as well coming through from Betty on the Sparrows, but it is going to be answered with that counter in the Kalista. Kalista can destroy Varus in this lane as well when he gets that opportunity. Able to go for it super aggressively, trade very, very well as well. So it's more that level 6 where Varus kind of has that ultimate to try and keep Kalista in check, which makes things a little bit easier. But now IG banning away those supports that can, you know, stop these heavy engages in that bottom lane. Tam Kench already taken off the board. Opportunity to go towards something like the Karma ban here as well, or that Thresh if they really want to. Karma more so you don't end up in the lane with a hell of a lot of poke, and something that can slow the Kalista and just make her damage fall off a cliff.
And with the Tahm Kench ban from the side of IG, I'm expecting either the ban, well, it's got to be the ban towards Thresh. Even if Nautilus is left open, that Thresh pick is just so critical for the side of Lucas to make sure they're getting such a dominating lane, especially now that we see Nautilus banned by the side of IG. Rogue Warriors, please read this.
I mean, for Rogue Warriors, yeah, you can ban away the Thresh, maybe the Leona as well, just to try and give this Varus a little bit of safety. But either way, you know you're going to get an aggressive support coming in with IG off this next pairing, and then they can leave that counter pick for Rookie in the mid lane. Rogue Warriors decide to ban the LeBlanc and instead make sure they're able to get something for themselves, but looks like it will be that Thresh going towards Lucas, and he's going to be pretty happy with that potent combo that they've managed to pick up.
Exactly. That's why I was saying the Thresh ban would have made a lot of sense, even though we were talking about before how powerful LeBlanc has become in this meta. We've seen so many more of these mid laners falling onto this champion, picking her up because how much she can take over, her rotating ability to be able to move around the map, especially if you give it over to Rookie and Shun, where they always like to tag team everywhere and make sure they're the ones getting ahead. It is going to be an easy counter now for the side of IG, holding off on that pick, making it so that Rookie is going to have the time of his life in mid.
I'm surprised to see the blind Sylas though.
Same here.
On now, it means that one, you've got Gwen, who's probably going to be going towards that jungle for Xiao Hao. But also, I don't particularly like Sylas blind. I think there's a lot of counters that can go into him that work pretty well. Hell, even something like the Zoe that Rookie's been incredibly strong on could work. Although when you look towards IG's composition, it very much is a, hey, let's go in and dive in on top of all these people. So may not want to go towards that. So curious to see what he does decide to go with here. But on Rogue Warrior's side, a very strong team fighting composition. Nice aspects of scaling coming through with the Gwen there as well. And a lot of lockup as well being offered by the likes of Set, Alistair, Varus. So certainly a team composition that wants to get in, get close and personal, and has Xiao Hao for that late game insurance. On IG side, with Rookie taking that rise in the mid lane, we again get another, well, very strong team fight off of that level, or those first item spikes, but certainly something that can play around side lanes a little bit more with that rise and have those creative realm warps that we've seen so many times, especially from players like Rookie.
Rookie and Rise, name a more iconic duo, honestly. He is someone who loves to play this champion, and talking about being able to rotate around the map, to move constantly, trying to tag team with Shun. I feel like IG, this composition, is even more of a quintessential IG composition.
Yeah, and again, I want to see them getting active in these early stages, right? Shun, we saw him attempt to, but now you should have the impact coming through from Rise in that mid lane where Rookie pushes in and roams with Shun. So certainly if you want to look towards these 330 dog spot that we've started to see more and more in the LPL, I think that's where you'll put your eggs as IG. Whereas for Rogue Warriors, I think you're going to be looking more so to try and see if you can facilitate that top side of the map, make sure that Nani's having a bit of a rough time, try and get some early kills on towards Gwen, because if Gwen can actually get towards her items quickly, she's going to be a menace. Otherwise, you know, the scissors just doesn't really cut us anymore.
No, they can't act. They're more of like dull scissors, not even cutting through paper at that point. You need to make sure you're putting Xiao Hao in that position to carry, and this is why I'm not the biggest fan of Gwen jungle, just because it takes you so much longer to be able to come online to actually be able to provide that necessary damage.
And it kind of reminds me of things like the Camille jungle, right? Where you'd have these super strong early games because you'd get that level 2 gank. You could even look towards these early scuttles when Rift Scuttler was a lot more important, but we saw her fall off because, well, these early skirmishes became less impactful, and then she couldn't actually find these early kills to snowball towards that later point. And it feels like Gwen kind of slots into the same issue where she doesn't even have those like CC plays to try and set up for her team, so she's even more reliant on her laner's ability to provide that crowd control for her. And if she can get the kills, great. Otherwise, you're looking, you know, 3 items realistically until this Gwen is actually relevant.
IG, they're setting up for a potential late invade yet again, but Rogue Warriors are wise to this time around. Forge was hanging out in the wings. They're going to be able to spot it out, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like they're in the position to fully fight back. They've brought down ZDZ looking for the flank. It's only 4 members of IG here, but look at the damage on Xiao Hao already. They're trying to be able to get the engage on a Wink, and they do find him for first blood.
5 members of Rogue Warriors to make sure they can secure that play on the bottom side. So kill does go the way of Rogue Warriors. Now you get the TP from ZDZ and an easier clear coming through from Xiao Hao. Shun as well, nice. Forced back onto his own side. He had to start with his Q, so he's not even going to be able to, you know, tank a huge amount of this. We may see an early back coming through from Shun just because of the damage that can come through from his camps.
Hey, you know what? For Rogue Warriors, definitely going to take this. You get the kill into Betty's pockets. You had already talked about this. Varus Kalista lane being kind of a troubling one for this immobile Varus, now having a little bit of an edge over Wink, especially because it was Wink who fell immediately. I want to see now Rogue Warriors utilize this lead, especially to make sure they can shut down any potential from this bottom half of the map.
Yeah, and I think a big one here is like just the fact that Shun's been set behind as well means that that early play that we were kind of talking about towards that bottom side becomes a lot more difficult. A slower clear, less opportunity to go for these scuttles as well. And as you can see, ZDZ, he's controlling his top side. You'll have that bounce back in the mid lane. There is an opportunity potentially for Xiao Hao off of bot lane pressure to play towards both scuttles or get top scuttle and have Betty and Chocho solo out that bottom scuttle.
This is Rogue Warriors Oyster World. They have everything that they could possibly want to be able to accomplish here. We just need to see them be proactive. We need to see them utilize this, because right now Forge is getting massively chunked out by Rookie. So Xiao Hao, who's hanging out on the wings, might not be able to actually help out before Forge dies. He finally does show up, and you can see the damage, the flash wave from Rookie. He's even going aggressively into 2 members of Rogue Warriors so they can get the Rune Prison on top of Xiao Hao, looking to be able to take him down. They will be able to trade it back, and barely the Triumph was able to keep Shun alive.
Hero Minion as well keeps Forge alive in that scenario. Triumph playing dividends for Shun, who Was going to go down towards that red buff, but not going to be the case. And now Shun, off of Rookie, having so much control in this mid lane, will get that Scuttle Crab for himself from the bottom side and going to be in a much happier spot.
The fact that Shun lives there too is a bit devastating and heartbreaking for Rogue Warriors, because I think that if that kill goes over to Forge, being able to turn that around, make it a 1-for-1, that keeps this momentum for Xiaohao. Even if he does die in the fight, you can get the kill onto Silas, so you can get another assist onto this Gwen to make sure that they can continue this powerful skirmishing potential into these early fights.
Also, the fact that, you know, Xiaohao didn't get to go for this full clear, right? He's only now clearing his blue buff. He's a little bit slow on that one. His camps are respawning the bottom side, but he's not actually getting towards these level 2 camps. So he's falling behind to Shun, who's going for this invade to see if he can get rid of some of these level 2 camps that have now spawned in Rogue Warriors jungle.
Even though it is spotted out, and it can't even be answered, actually. If you look, there's nothing really to gain for Xiaohao. So Shun, Rookie, already they're able to tag team, work as this duo that we had highlighted before to scare off the bot lane of Rogue Warriors. Even though Forge was hanging out looking for a potential flank himself, they're just forcing away Betty and Chocho to make sure they're not going to be able to get anything really in the spot lane with this huge minion wave already built up. And why'd you go back, guys? Why'd you go back? Nice hook coming in from Lucas. They got the members, even with a knockup on top of Rookie. He's going to be able to take the shield and get away, barely surviving. Wait a minute, Ignite. Oh, he lives. And now with the turret, the snip. One is falling for the side of IG. It is an even trade across the board.
It's actually a major win for Rogue Warriors, though, because mid lane, you're getting Forge pushing in. Betty survives, so still gets the wave and the experience. Whereas when you look at IG, they end up giving that kill back over. You're missing out on this CS now for Rookie in the mid lane. So nice play from Rogue Warriors to actually keep that play within touching distance and what could have been a disaster. Now, we'll see the replay here where Chocho goes low. Lucas needed to tank up that turret for long. Lucas has the flash, whereas both flashes are already expended on towards Rookie and Shun because of that mid lane play. If Lucas tanks that turret up that little bit longer, they can finish off Chocho, they reset, they can go towards the kill on towards Betty. But with that mess up, you end up in that situation where you end up with the mid laner from IG nearly falling.
Nearly went down, barely does hold on to his life, and then it ends up being an even 1-for-1 trade. And like you said, that only favors Rogue Warriors since so many members were committed by IG to force that play in the bot lane. So they now feel like they have to force yet another play, trying consistently to see if they can kill off the bot lane of Rogue Warriors, which they do, and put more gold into Wink's pocket.
And this is exactly what we talked about. Rookie having priority mid, hell yeah, let's get him down towards this bottom side. And he's been doing an amazing job of it thus far. Does mean that you're getting the opportunity for Forge to get a bit of alone time with the minions and that terror, but still the advantages are going the way of IG. So now we can see that 1,000 gold lead opening up. Shun again getting control of this bottom side. And we talked about the struggles for Xiaohao on this Gwen, but they're only being amplified when Shun is threatening them so much in his own jungle.
Pretty much just saying that I can constantly invade you. I will always look to be able to fight in your face, in your jungle, because we have priority bot lane, because we have priority mid lane. Even top lane, you can see there's a bit of priority for Neni, making this jungle Gwen have such a difficult time now to be able to do anything, unlike how it was just a few minutes ago.
And especially for Rogue Warriors who, you know, want time in this game to become relevant. You know, Forge, get his ever across. We talked about Xiaohao realistically needing 3 items before he really becomes a menace. And you're not going to get that time here because IG are just picking up the pace over and over again. And you're not getting those responses coming through from Forge, who's been struggling.
Well, I mean, it's also Rookie's Rise too, so you're struggling into this lane, you're trying to scale up into it, but then you have to look and face down this menace in the mid lane, who's constantly shoving you in, getting these microscopic leads, but they're enough to constantly, over and over again, batter down at your defenses and make it so he is also going to be a threat if this game scales long enough.
And now Rogue Warriors are trying to see if they can punish Rookie. No, has his flash available, though?
Oh, missing it up, gone abduct, and now the TP comes in from Neni to be able to look for the dive. They've got that Stormbringer ult if they actually want to fully commit for this. Minion wave will be built up.
There's an attempt from Rogue Warriors to make the play on Rookie. They wanted to try and get this play to move over towards Rift Herald with that man advantage, but unfortunately for them, not able to make that play happen. Forge nearly going down as well means now IG can turn 5 members over towards this Rift Herald. I don't think you can test this Rogue Warriors. You already lost out of this 8-minute fight in the last game.
Look at how low Forge is. Well, they tried to go for the commit, and Rookie, he's just got the fancy beat Chocho. He gets blown up, and with the engage coming in from ZZ, trying to see if they can get anything from Forge. Forge is just taking a lot of damage from Wink. The flash is in abound, trying to be able to escape with the Realm Warp to chase down. ZZ will be able to escape on the other side of the wall, but with the pick in mid lane, with the pick on it to the support, that is an easy eye of the Rift Herald for IG.
And 3 kills for Wink now. This Kalista is getting very, very far ahead. And like we highlighted at the start of the day, when Wink is ahead, he looks far stronger. Now, he's going to be in a position where he can actually threaten a lot of people in these team fights, especially for people like Forge and ZTZ who want to be able to, slowly work their way through these fights, utilizing the Haymaker shield, utilizing the fact you've got this heals coming through for Silas, won't really have the opportunity. And you can see here, Rookie, brilliant flash away from the engage from Chocho. And from that point forward, it's all gone disastrously. Betty can't even get into this fight, and it's just IG ripping their way through Rogue Warriors.
It's one of those moments, right? You see your opponent make that play, you're just like, fair play. It's over. We're done. We're not winning this fight. There's no way in hell you're winning.
They were never going to. No. I don't know why they tried. We already said, hey, look, Xiaohao needs time. Forge needs to get his Everfrost. You need this 1 to 2 item spike at minimum from Rogue Warriors to be able to fight. I don't know why they tried to attempt it, and it's very reminiscent to the last game, right? They feel like they need to fight because they're under pressure against IG, but if they actually were to take this slower pace, it will play towards their strengths and towards what the composition is trying to do. If you want to go for these early fights and try and contest these early objectives, don't pick a Gwen jungle. Pick something that can actually fight at these early stages.
Exactly, and if you pick the Gwen jungle, you have to understand the ebb and flow of the Rift. Understand that you're just not going to be able to win that fight, not after you have so much gold that's been picked up by Rookie on these flanks and these rotating ability plays that he's been having towards the bottom side, with Wink having 2 kills to be able to overcome that early death that he had suffered at level 1.
I'm also not a big fan of the itemization that we're getting from Xiaohu. He's gone straight towards this Nashor's Tooth. Nashor's Tooth is great in these long drawn out fights where you can get multiple auto attacks off, but look at the composition IG have, right? They are very heavy burst damage, where Shun, Nani, Rookie getting 1 combo wop, annihilates someone, and then you just carry on for the rest of the fight. This is not somewhere that you're going to be auto attacking a lot, and you're not going to be inside lanes trying to utilize that. It's nice job from IG to get away.
I like that. I like that play. Shun just having the conviction to stay on the objective, knowing that if they peeled back, that it wasn't going to reset, it was going to be stolen away by Rogue Warriors, so they commit to it. And when you have Lucas on his Thresh, it makes it so much easier for you to play aggressively, unlike how you normally see it in a Jinx or in a Felios comp, where he's trying to be safe for the team. They can play aggressively while still being safe for the team.
And you can even see that reflected in the rune choice, right? Takes the Aftershock, not this, not this Guardian that people want to go towards, keep people safe. Nah, he wants to get in their face. He wants to be getting this Aftershock proc, actually being a frontline Thresh, the way Thresh is supposed to be played. But yeah, I think, honestly, I like that we're getting this from Lucas again. I think it speaks volumes about what IG are trying to do. We're going in. It's one direction. That is it. And for Rogue Warriors, that's kind of terrifying, because they just do not have anything that can really match toe-to-toe against IG, especially when they're accelerated with a 2.5k gold lead.
They're accelerated. They're also shoving in every single lane. The only one now that's not is bot lane, because Wink and Lucas had recalled. So now you can see this rotating that we were talking about from Rookie, and how he's always able to team up with Shun so they can pop the eye top lane, more gold than any. This is looking exactly like what we saw at almost the exact same time point last game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's looking very reminiscent of it. And I think as well, for IG, when we look towards their composition, right, we think, hey, look, they're on very much a mid-game spike, where you're looking at Rookie, who'll be able to pick up 1 to 2 items, Wink as well when he gets that Rune's Hurricane. So the fact they are accelerating this game is phenomenal for them. And even when you look towards, again, the compositional strengths, like Rookie on something like a Rise, usually would struggle in team fights where, oh, he's going to be turning a whole bunch of damage into these tanks, but ZDZ is going to be looking for flanks in these scenarios, so a lot of this damage is going to be sticking onto people like Forge, Betty, even Chocho, who's not really tanky without that ultimate. So a lot of the damage that's going to be coming through from IG is going to stick and it's going to hurt.
And I don't think they're going to be able to survive long enough like they'd want to be able to scale up. And going back, I kind of want to circle back to the point you made about Chow Hao having this early Nashor's Tooth and how it, I mean, yeah, a lot of people on Gwen tend to build this, especially early on, to be able to get a lot of that extra damage in long, drawn-out fights. But these aren't going to be that long and drawn-out of fights against IG, especially not when you're behind like this.
Yeah, and that was the big one for me. It's actually why we have only seen a handful of times this Nashor's Tooth picked up on Gwen. I think Zoom has built it a little bit, and I'm pretty sure there's a Flandre, I think, built it as well, but there's only been 2 or 3 players that built it. 90% of the time that we see it, it has actually been just the Riftmaker, Zonya's Cosmic Drive build, and I do prefer it. I think, especially for a team fight where you're able to get a lot of damage off with the needlework, and especially if people are lined up in a row, it makes things a hell of a lot easier. And especially when you're a jungler, it's not like you're going to be trading super hard in lane, so you are going to be more focused towards these team fights, where I just think that build is far better, especially as Lyric pointed out yesterday, the ability haste you get off the Cosmic Drive is so nice for in these fights.
It is incredibly nice, but right now, Wink, I don't think anybody's going to be able to save your life. No, it was a canceled TP. He was able to flash. There it is. There's going to be the damage coming in, and they're going to be able to get the kill for Forge, but now it's going to be reciprocated with their own TP in the middle of everybody. Netty trying to get the damage onto Chocho, making sure that they can at least peel back, but it's still a 3v4. Not going to be able to even get the Stormbringer, so now Rogue Warriors gifted this advantage.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think. Rookie's still stuck in the top side. You see, he does manage to cancel the TP from ZDZ, but he's not able to follow in at all. So now 2 quick kills going the way of Rogue Warriors, and all that we were just talking about. Hey, you know, IG looking great, looking wonderful. We're starting to see classic IG things.
Hey, and I will give credit where credit is due for Rogue Warriors being able to punish the misposition of Wink. Wink far overextended. He thought he was a lot safer in that bot lane than really you are. Even as a Kalista, even if you do have that mobility to move around, nobody was nearby you, and you were in such a long lane to be able to get back towards your team.
Rogue Warriors did expend a lot of time, though, in that bottom side of the map. IG get the quicker resets. Now they actually have position on this Rift Herald, so we'll have to see now if Rogue Warriors can try and contest them. But again, it's nice that you got these burst item spikes coming through. But Gwen, not really a champion at this stage. She's not going to be able to get off a huge amount of damage, especially with her needlework down. So IG, but they will be able to get this uncontested and can just turn this in towards the mid lane turrets.
And that's exactly what I'm expecting them to do, as they're already set up. They're even looking to see if they can find a pick onto the members of Rogue Warriors, seeing if they can get onto Betty especially. That's a lot of the damage, especially as you're going towards that lethality build. If you can take out Varus, you can take out any real fight that Rogue Warriors will have.
Yeah, and now Rogue Warriors are like, well, Dragon's up, but they have Rift Herald. They threaten mid lane. We can't really contest Dragon right now for fear of losing potentially 2 of our mid turrets. So IG now kind of got them in between a rock and a hard place.
And they got the pick attempted. Look to see if they can get a little bit of damage. Rogue Warriors don't want to relent. They don't want to have to retreat out of this play. They've even looked for the attempted play. They've got a lot of damage, and they actually got the burst onto Shun. Looking to see if they can throw it back to the back line. They're going to be pulled back in by Lucas, but ZGZ, he's still alive. Got the heal just in time for Betty to keep him alive. Try to dive over the wall, but now that Shun's dead, this could allow Rogue Warriors to fight back, but they have to be so careful. They cannot play too aggressively and get themselves caught out.
Yeah, ZDZ needs the back, doesn't have that teleport, so it's a 4v4 for the moment. IG missing their jungler, though, means they can't really start up Dragon. Rookie also going to go for the reset, it looks like, but again, like, you've got IG going for this aggressive play in mid lane, trying to see if they can push in that wave, but you have Nani in bot side, so Shun gets caught out and ends up giving control back towards Rogue Warriors.
But unfortunately for Rogue Warriors, you talked about how ZDZ needed to back off. Chocho had followed with them. They didn't have the play necessary to make sure they can control the objective. But I do want to give praise again to them finding this pick on Shun.
Yeah, nice job there from Betty with the flash forward. Shun very overextended. And look where Nani is, right? He's got nowhere to go for this fight, no teleport. So this fight very quickly falls apart for IG because you are already a member down and you're 3v5 in that mid lane skirmish. But doesn't matter, still Dragon goes the way of IG, so some kills back in favor of Rogue Warriors, but the objective's still going for Invictus Gaming.
I always forget that as Silas, you also steal away the ult Kalista. I was like, wait, how do you throw in Gwen? I'm like, oh, that's right. Like, brain sometimes not clicking on those ones. But I got, you know, avoiding my brain being small. We're looking at this game and how this game is playing out right now. And I feel like Rogue Warriors, they're on the verge of greatness. They're grasping at these fights. They're finding the proper plays, but unfortunately, they're just getting themselves punished as well. Right here, ZDZ looking like he's going to be punished. He has the showstopper trying to get away from Rookie with the movement speed, looking for the Rune Prison to be able to keep him in place. A lot of damage thrown back on top of him. Rookie is able to do so much, and there it is, the lockdown. He's trying to dash away with the Stride Breaker. June will be able to take the Lantern to safety, but now Rogue Warrior, it is their time to see if they can collapse. They've got the lockdown onto Wink as Jojo takes a lot of damage for this team. Fate's call to be able to keep him alive with a needlework damage onto Shun. He takes his own Lantern to be able to survive again, forcing him all the way back, continuing to chase down, continuing to whittle them down. Rogue Warriors yet again having a fight that works out, and another piercing arrow from Betty to take another one with them.
This is not working out for IG at all. These picks are disastrous, especially onto tanky members like ZDZ. And now, I mean, I just feel for Nani. I just watch him. He's got to be like,
guys, can we please just take one grouped up fight? I am not have my teleport available. Can we please just wait? Wait until I'm there. And now Rogue Warriors, they're the ones that are feeling confident to go for this 20-minute power.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a couple seconds till Shun's back up. Even though Rook does have TP, they can attempt the fight.
This is going to be tough, though. I'm not sure. Baron taking them low. This is not really looking good for Rogue Warriors.
For the peel, trying to see if they can have this nice fight. Nice knockup coming in from Jojo. They secure it, but they lose the Alistar. Now with Forge in the middle of Lucas, trying to see if they can kite him back. Huge showstopper to take two members with them. Nanny trying to be able to gallop himself away, but the chains keep him reined in. Rookie, he's gonna take a big piercing arrow to the face and taken out yet again by Betty.
And this is actually Rogue Warriors now firmly in control of this game. They punished mistake after mistake from Invictus Gaming. They take the fight at the Baron. They take the Baron, and now they have control. They can even look at this Dragon that's coming up in 2 minutes, but we're going to get the replay of this bottom side play. IG just went way too deep. They try to go for the dive. They don't even get the kill. And then here, there's just everyone in Rogue Warriors shows up out of the woodwork, and Ignati, again, still in mid. Forge is just sitting there with them as well to make sure that Nani's actually not able to get anything off of this. And IG punished once more.
And this damage in from Betty. He has also come online to these squishy members on the side of IG. But looking at this play, it's just, wow, I gotta give Chocho some credit too with his ability to peel back for the team.
Yeah, I think Chocho was the hero there, because that could have been disastrous, especially if Rookie's getting like AoE damage off from that pit. You get that big volley bear ultimate coming in on top of everyone as well. Like, that burst damage alone could have ended things for Rogue Warriors there. But Chocho, he's working his way through everyone, consistently getting multi-bat knockups, knocking people like Rookie away. And it means that Rogue Warriors can get that Baron and then turn towards the fight after.
And then what did we talk about before with Rogue Warriors? If they could survive, they could thrive. And sure enough, by against all odds, they have survived and they are thriving. Looking at Betty, 6-0-4. Looking at even Xiao Hao, how he has been able to hold on. Now he's got that Rift Maker completed to be able to be that threat that Gwen wants to be. Just needed one more item until nobody can stop her.
Yeah, once he gets that Sonya's Hourglass, he's good to go. Like, that's pretty much Gwen's kind of dream state, where she's able to have that survivability in fight. She can play off of the healing and her cooldowns. She's going to be in a really, really good spot now, though. IG trying to see if they can go back towards playing the map state out wider and having Shun help out Rookie.
But it's on to Forge, it's on Silas. Silas is deceptively difficult to be able to kill. They've got a couple members trying to be able to commit for this full dive. The Moonfall returned back, both of them golden. And what did I say? They don't really want to try to see if it can kill a Silas. And now Xiao Hao on the flank. They got Shun, they've got the damage. Lucas trying to be able to get away from the fight, but he cannot escape. Double kill for Forge.
And it's again IG trying to make these picks. Rookie will get away, but look at the bottom half of your screen.
I don't think
You've already lost the base.
He's trying to run away. They're just trying to make sure they can stop this back. The snips from Xiaohao while the base is being taken by Betty, by Chocho. A lot of damage comes back in onto Gwen. Going to dodge away with the hallowed ground. But the base is actually in tatters at the moment. Rogue Warriors, they're trying to be able to end this game. They've got the bot lane. They've got the minions. Nenny, he wants to be able to hold on for dear life as Rookie was finally able to take down Gwen. But the Nexus turrets are to fall. One more gone. The fight continues inside of the base of IG. Rogue Warriors, all they need to do is finish off the Nexus. But now that Rookie's been able to show up, they're taking down Zed, and they might be able to take down Forge with them with the damage coming in from Rookie. They follow it back up, try to see if they can take him. They do, in fact, get both members that were inside the base of IG. They hold on tight.
The Get Dragon, though. You know, that's good, I suppose. I just feel sorry for IG fans. Like, how do you go from 2-0 FPX in such a dominant fashion and then coming into this and, like, throwing away your 3,000 gold lead against Rogue Warriors? Like, IG are the most confusing team that we have in the LPL. Now, look, base in tatters. Everything has gone Rogue Warriors' favor. A 3,000 gold lead now for them. But that dragon going across towards IG at least gives IG still another window that they can play around. If you're able to get this mountain, so it gives them the opportunity to try and nullify some of the scaling opportunities that we were talking about for Rogue Warriors. But actually just going to get a replay here of Rookie. Nice burst damage. That could have actually been the end.
It could have.
I actually love that from Xiaohao. If he'd killed Rookie, this game was done. Like, he just didn't have enough damage here from IG to stop Rogue Warriors from being able to finish this off. You can see, like, Lucas has nothing left. Amy's not going to survive. Shun falls. It's Rookie that's able to keep this game alive.
Pretty much. It's all on Rookie, all on surviving that fight. Whoa, I think double-digit health in that fight against Xiaohao underneath the turret. And with this, there is, I mean, they still got to deal with the fact they have nothing defending that Nexus. Nothing stands around it. All it will take from Rogue Warriors is having both Forge and ZDZ backdooring to end the game. I mean, that is one of the things with Silas. You can steal away a Realm Warp and you can bring everybody in onto the gravy train.
And even here as well, I mean, you've got your teleports up for ZDZ. Plonk in bot lane, he escorts that wave in, but unfortunately Rogue Warriors haven't really copped onto that. They've got to keep him in ZDZ in mid lane right now to push in the wave. The wave has already been pushed in by Rookie in that bottom side as well, so not really having multi-man pressure across the map. And with ZDZ mid, maybe you look for a flank here from lane.
Also, Forge, you stole the wrong ult, my friend. You needed to steal Rookies just because I want to see the back door. That's the real reason, as now they are attempting to fight. Oh, Chocho! He has burst down. It doesn't matter if you have the Unbreakable Will. They've got Betty to go gold, and same with Shun. And the fight is going to be a 4v5 with damage on Shun into the backline. Trying to see if they can take him down. They're going to be able to get the kill for Forge in the backline. Wait, two. He's dragged back in, but it's been even. Rookie trying to be able to hold on to dear life once more, as Xiaohao is able to scare him away, but Nenny is full of health. He is a big bear, and he's going to be able to get another one to go golden with Rookie. Again, holding on just barely.
Holy Rookie, how in the name of God are you alive at the end of that? I loved how he was able to keep himself at bay, wait for the needlework to finish, and then realizes, hang on, there's nothing here that can really threaten me. So he starts to play forward and can turn this around, and somehow IG managed to turn that fight around, and now they get the Baron. I know we're looking at these minions, but you finish the Baron, Impaired Recall,
Forge.
They'll be totally fine.
Oh no, okay, Shun's here, and same with Wink. I was wondering more about Forge since he was about to respawn and could have gone for the TP backdoor. The thing about Silas is he has a lot more burst onto objectives such as a Nexus than people realize.
Well, we're going to get this replay here. I actually thought this was doomed. I watched Shun here. He goes on towards Xiaohu. He misses the ultimate, and I was like, okay, that's a massive game changer. But as we talked about, with ZDZ being in that mid lane, he's so late to this fight that IG are already working through the majority of the back line. Wink goes down, but Rookie is still up and available. Now watch, Xiaohu, second that needlework is used and the haymaker's down, Rookie's all in. He's playing on just the minuscule amount of health. Great play from Lucas keeps him alive. And Rookie is playing these fights so incredibly well.
Rookie, he is trying to make sure that this game is not going to end. He does not want a game 3. Like you had said, they had a 3,000 gold lead, and yet here they now stand, barely holding on to this game, waiting for this inhibitor to respawn to make sure they can still claw at a victory.
With a minute and a half until Dragon as well. Now, especially for people like Rookie, like Wink, they won't have their flashes available for this fight, so it makes it a hell of a lot harder. Stopwatch in Rookie's back pocket, though, means he's still got a little bit of survivability. We'll be relying on Lucas to keep him safe as he comes out of that stopwatch. But for people like Forge and like Xiao Xiaobao, they are ones that are in much better spot as the pick.
Lucas taking a lot of damage, barely alive though. He will limp back to the team, and it doesn't matter. There's still a long time left until that objective, the dragon, spawns back up.
It would have been nice if they got the pick. It would have meant that Lucas was out of the equation. A lot of the vision and map control would have gone in the favor of Rogue Warriors, but unfortunately not able to make that happen. Nothing really invested though from Rogue Warriors, so they're still going to be perfectly fine to hang on for this next fight, keep pressure on towards IG, and make sure that IG are walking into this Dragon blind.
At least that's what they're attempting to do. They're keeping the flank potential for Xiao Hao, looking for Shun, looking for the 1v1 fight. But this could be a dangerous game you're playing here, Rogue Warriors. We've already seen that these fights, they might be on a knife's edge, but Rookie, as long as he is left alive, he is able to have the machine gun rise damage.
Yeah, big minion wave in that top side as well is going to take a lot of damage off that top turret, and I actually don't mind this from IG, right? You just give it up, and you look to crack open the base as well.
They got the Baron. Oh, I was really hoping that we'd see that Rogue Warriors would just go for the straight up base race, but they all recall, understanding that the Baron empowered team on the side of IG was enough to beat them, even if they have an exposed Nexus that they can deal with.
It feels like IG have kind of flicked their brains back on though, right? Because now we're actually seeing, hey look, we don't have to fight for Dragon, we can get the push in mid. They're playing through these side lanes exceptionally well, but Rookie pushing that top wave in, so they get that top turret exceptionally low. Doesn't quite fall, but that's nearly 2 towers that went in favor of IG for a Mountain Dragon over for Rogue Warriors. Now it does again kind of delay IG, I will say, in that they would love to be able to get their hands on a Mountain Soul, but I think they're not confident that they win these fights anymore, because honestly I'm kind of with them. When Xiao Xiaobao has just finished off his Zhonya's, didn't have it for that fight, but you see 3 items now starting to come through on some of these champions. It feels like Rogue Warriors, certainly in a straight up brawl, would have the advantage if both teams execute well.
And that's the thing, you gotta execute well, and we've already seen that these fights are hanging precariously. Rookie, I gotta give this man, his rise is definitely the stuff of legends on how he's been able to bring this game back, bring them back to that 3,000 gold lead that they had before. Suddenly, Rogue Warriors were able to get pick after pick and fight after fight.
Well, IG now looking to see if they can get vision control, potentially look for some of those picks, give pressure on towards this bottom side of the map, and I'd love to see them kind of split it out, right? Have Nani start to threaten that mid inhibitor, and Rookie start to push with the rest of the team on this bottom side, but it looks like at the moment they're kind of caught between the 2 places. They don't want to separate themselves and give the opportunity for Rogue Warriors to pick off IG.
Because right now, Rogue Warriors, they still have their backs against the wall, and they understand that even if they've got the scaling to start working, they've already got the 3-item Gwen. You can see from the mini-map how little control they have over the jungle. Pretty much just wards right outside what they consider the critical points. This tier 2 turret, and this is a difficult one to defend.
Especially when you can have Nani flank at any point in time. No pressure in mid lane. Oh, actually, as I see Betty backing off there.
He is.
I was surprised. I thought they might try and like at least use Betty to wave clear here. You don't have the Baron buff on IG anymore, so could have cleared the wave, but Betty going back, finishing off his Edge of Night, means that he'll be a little bit safer from Shun going for these big engages or any sort of play that Nani can make. But now, Rogue Warriors moving back top side with 45 seconds until Baron.
DZ will be able to get away. Got hooked in by Lucas. Oh man, Rogue Warriors, I did not expect you to be at this point where you're so close. You're inches away from victory. And right now, Jojo, he is on a journey. They are trying to make sure that vision that they had no control of around this pit, that he's been able to have this solo YOLO mission to grab some back.
The problem though is that it's real deep in IG's side, right? And for IG, they don't need to go there. They just hold jungle control for Rogue Warriors, river control as well, and you've no vision on the Baron. So, I mean, yeah, it was a great solo mission, but it didn't really net anything.
Not at all, and look at the damage. That is negligible to Nenny. He just shirks all of it off, and even with the triple knockup, nobody's followed it up just yet. They're waiting, trying to see if they're going to be able to have the flank, and Jojo's already dead before Zed's even able to be in a position to answer that. So round warp onto the Baron. IG just want to be able to take the objective, even though they've spotted out this set. They're looking to see if they can grab onto him. They pulled him back in, he flashed away, still alive. Play in with a lot of damage on top of him. The Ignite ticking too. They're going to be able to get the root coming in, but another death sentence coming in from Lucas to make sure he cannot escape. Though they do throw one right back into the face of IG. It's only the support that they've lost, and now Forge, Betty, they are on a mission. Can they get the back door?
There's no minions, but it doesn't matter, right? There's no turrets. It's just the inhibitor left standing. IG have fully committed.
Wait a minute!
To this.
No!
Now don't even TP!
Nenny, you knew that they were on the bottom side of the map. They're looking to just backdoor the game. There's nothing there. They're not going to be able to get back in time. Rogue Warriors, they fight valiantly, and they strike in game 2 to bring us to game 3.
Oh, God. IG, no! You'd fought back. You'd managed to, like, right the wrongs of the past, and then you come in and Naney TPs it. It was the one play, the single play that Rogue Warriors could have